There we go. All right. So you all can catch me on all social media outlets tonight. I'm on YouTube Live. I'm on Instagram Live, but I will be mostly focused right here on Facebook Live. Okay. Ooh, YouTube got me looking real fat from the side. Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna have to. Ooh. Y'all, I am learning how to trying to set up all this here stuff. I got my new ring light over here so I can have more lighting. And I can tell I should put some makeup on. This ring light shows everything. But anyway, I wanted to talk, and I have a few notes here. I want to talk about um, dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional friendships, dysfunctional period. You could be at work. Thank you. You could be at work in a dysfunctional atmosphere. So we're going to talk about what brings on those things and why do people, pretty much we're going to talk about why do people feel they have to stay in dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional friendships, dysfunctional energy, period. Let me tell you something. What is dysfunctional? Dysfunctional just means that you're not properly operating normally. That's it. You're not normal. You're not operating properly. That's dysfunction. So here we go. Let's break this down. Whenever you are around someone, hey Yolanda, thank you. Whenever you are around someone and you know that person is dysfunction, let's break this down. You already know that person is dysfunction, and you still choose, you still choose to be around that. Life is dysfunctional. Everybody's life is not dysfunctional. We make our lives dysfunctional by staying in certain situations, Kevin, and allowing certain situations into our energy. I'm telling you from experience. I used to live a dysfunctional life because I allowed dysfunctional people in my space. I allowed dysfunctional people in my home. I allowed dysfunctional people in my space up here. But once you had to realize that. Okay, you say not true. That's fine. Look, I'm not here to. Oh, wait. What happened? Okay, I'm not here to argue or whatever. That's fine. But we can make our lives functional, or we can make our lives dysfunctional. That's me. Hey, listen, it's your boat. You can float it, Kevin. Um, but again, we allow dysfunctionality or dysfunctional behaviors into our circle. Why do we feel we have to do that? Some people do that from experience, from low self-esteem, or we don't value ourselves. And we feel that the only way that we can be around certain people or hang around certain things or hang around, yes, it's a choice. That's right, Brenda Glover. It is a choice. We choose. Why is this thing doing that? We choose to live a dysfunctional life, or you can choose to live a functional life. And I get it. Some people just probably have not gotten to that point yet. There's different levels. And I'm going to read all your comments because I want you all to interact with me, because a lot of people don't know the definition and the meaning. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Yolanda. But let me just be transparent before we go back into this, before we go back into talking about this. Hey, YouTube. Let me be transparent. Things happen in life we have no control over. I'm not talking about those things. Those are life issues, Kevin. I'm not talking about life issues. I'm talking about things that we allow. I'm talking about the people that we allow that we know that's dysfunctional. See, I'm going to get to it. I'm not talking about like coronavirus. Yeah, this has made things be dysfunctional because we had no control over this. So I'm not talking about this. This is something that happened. So being that COVID-19 came, we didn't see it coming. Yes, it has caused a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of businesses to become dysfunctional because we don't know what to do. Some people don't know what to do. So I'm not talking about life issues, honey. I'm talking about things that we allow. And even during this COVID-19, some people have allowed dysfunctional things to happen because they just don't know they don't know how to go forward, and they don't know how to not let it happen. So I'm not talking about that. Let me give you a good example of what I'm talking about, Kevin. If I know that I'm getting ready to date this joker, and if I know he's dysfunctional, how do I know he's dysfunctional? He don't want to get up and go to work. His last spouse he had, or his last person that he was with, he beat on her. He never did anything around the house. He never did anything, cuss her out, do all this kind of stuff. But then I know those are dysfunctional behaviors. But I'm going to allow it anyway. That's what I'm talking about. I've allowed this joker now to come in. I've allowed him to come and be a part of my atmosphere. Thank you, Kevin. I've allowed him to come in and be a part of my energy. So since he's a part of my energy, now I've welcomed this spirit in. I've welcomed all this dysfunctionality in. So now I have to deal with it. This is what I'm talking about. Choices. We have a choice. Just like Brenda Glover said, we have a choice. People stay in dysfunctional and unhealthy relationships because, again, of low self-esteem. They don't know how to raise their esteem up. And it could be from trauma when they were kids. Mine came from trauma. I used to suffer from it. So I told you all, as I'm speaking, I'm going to speak on myself to be transparent. See, I can speak on certain things that I know I've been delivered from. I can speak on certain things because I know where God has brought me from. I can speak on certain things I know that I've been to therapy for. I haven't gotten to where I am today, and I repeatedly say this all the time, on my own. It has been nothing but the help of the Lord and therapy. I'm telling you. Yes, I used to, some people say, let me see, dysfunctionality can also be learned behavior. Yes, that's what I said. Yes, trauma. Yes, mine came from trauma. So you're absolutely right, Carmelita. Yes, you are absolutely right. I had to go to therapy to figure out things that I was doing was dysfunctional, because I was living my life thinking it was functional. I'm thinking, okay, I'm doing this because mama did it. I'm doing this because granny did it. I'm doing this because auntie did it. I'm doing this because papa did it. That don't mean it was right, though. It means it became a part of my everyday growing up as a child. So things that happened to me as a child, molestation, a whole lot of different things all rolled into a snowball of trauma. So growing up with these things built up inside of me, because it was learned behavior. Come on, touch your neighbor and say, it was learned behavior. I thought it was okay. I thought that's how I was supposed to be living life. I thought this is what it was all about. I thought I'm supposed to marry this guy, even though we cussing each other out every day, even though he telling me I'll put a bullet to your head and this and that. I'm thinking that stuff I'm thinking that's functional. I'm thinking we're functioning right. Because as long as he's taking care of you, as long as he's paying the bills and this and that, this is what I'm supposed to put up with. No, absolutely not. I had to learn my worth. I had to learn that I am worth more than that. I had to start loving me first. I had to start learning. I'm looking at 3 different cameras: Instagram, YouTube Live, and Facebook. But I'm more so focused on Facebook, guys. I'm not shying y'all on my Instagram. I see y'all over there. And I'm not shying y'all away from over here on YouTube, but I'm more so focused right here. Learn behavior. So I thought that was learned behavior even after I got saved and got in church. Now, I've been in church all of my life, but once I got saved and got in church, come on, let me tell you, some of your most dysfunctional people are in church. Oh, I'm going to say that again. Some of your most dysfunctional people are in church. So I was in church thinking just because I'm in church, I'm still doing everything right. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I was in church, that's when I was doing, and I'm still in church, that's when I was doing more things wrong, because the church teaches you certain things. I'm trying not to go there. Certain, let me put it like this. Certain churches you become a part of sometimes can be a cult. If I could say that and leave it like that. And sometimes their teachings, they want you to learn their teachings, which is not the right teachings, and you become more dysfunctional. You become more dysfunctional because you're thinking just because you're in church, just because this is a preacher, just because this is an evangelist, just because they're a clergy, you're thinking everything that they're doing and saying is right. And a lot of times they're messing you up in the head even more, because you're going to church thinking that you are getting the word. You're supposed to be getting the word from God, and the pastor trying to sleep with you, his wife trying to sleep with you, everything in the church. You see him sleeping with other people, and you can't go tell nobody. Or if you do tell somebody, they putting you out the church because they saying you trying to store stuff. All that's dysfunctional. See, I had to learn all this here stuff, and once you become of knowledge of some things that's not really right, then you be like, man, that is dysfunctional. That is not right. That is not right. So I had to come to the conclusion of myself in dismissing a lot of people from my life. Now, y'all know, if some of y'all can rewind and go back in time, y'all know maybe about 5 years ago, y'all know I used to post pictures. I used to go out all the time, get up on Sunday mornings, be the first one in church shouting and stuff. Just go out all up. I go out now Well, since COVID, I don't as much. But I used to go out all the time because I had a lot of friends. As soon as I made a choice to stop, as soon as I made a choice to stop, because my life was going in a different direction, and I learned the hard way that these really weren't my friends. They were my friends as long as I was doing what they wanted me to do, which was get up and go out and party. Thursday nights I was going out somewhere, happy hour. Friday night I was going out somewhere. And it wasn't like we was going to no bad clubs and stuff. It was just happy hour. We're just going sitting out and doing this and that. But I could not get my career back on track because I was doing certain things and hanging around certain people. Come on, touch your neighbor and say, sometimes that bad energy will stop and block your blessing. Meaning sometimes you could be around the wrong people and they're sucking all of the energy out of you, that energy that you could be using toward going toward your career, that energy you could be using toward doing something positive. So I had to stop being around people. I had to cut people loose. The most people I hang with now pretty much is my family. And I still have friends I hang with. But when I tell you I used to have a lot of friends, I used to have a lot of friends. I don't no more. I don't go to a lot of, and I stopped this before Corona. I don't go to a whole lot of parties and all this stuff anymore. Why? Because I had to learn that in order for me to try and get ahead and do what I need to do in my career, I can't do it running the streets. I cannot do it running the streets. And then, my mom took sick, so I had to be home a whole lot. So, God allowed a lot of things to happen in my life to where I had to stop. So I'm just saying that there was a lot of dysfunctionality going on with my friends, or my so-called friends who I thought, and they were my friends at the time. Let me tell you something. When you're at a certain level, you have certain friends. When you move to a different level, blockers. There you go. Y'all, this is good. This is my first time drinking this, I think. This is really good. Maybe my second time. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I had to learn that on certain levels that I was at. And here's the thing that you'll learn. On certain levels that you're on, you're going to have a lot of friends. When you move to a different level, first thing they say, thank you, Erica. The first thing they say is, thank you, Yolanda. The first thing they'll say is, oh, you acting funny. Now, no, I'm not acting funny, boo. And let me tell you something else. When you have friends who don't understand that you can't go out and that you can't run the street because you're trying to better yourself and they get mad at you, or you acting funny, that's not your friend. It's your friend for certain things that you do. Yeah, you're my friend as long as we're going out. You're my friend on that end, But, when I'm trying to do something better for myself, or when I'm trying to move in a different direction for the better, and you still telling me I'm acting funny, I need to be doing this and that, you're not my friend. I cut you off. Let me tell you something about me. I don't have a problem with cutting people off. And here's another thing. Those undesired behaviors that you don't want to see in other people, but the undesired behaviors that you see in other people and you still allow it, it's still your fault. It's still your fault. And I broke it down already. When we already see undesired behaviors in people and we still allow it because you don't want to tell them, baby, look, And I have somebody on here, I don't want to call her name, but she know who she is. She asked me, yes, because I get a lot of people that give me topics to talk about or ask me certain questions in the inbox. And she asked me, I want to say it correctly, if I'm saying it correctly. Why is it when you have a friend, you're friends with this person, but then when they get a new friend, they don't want to be friends with you. But then when they're not friends with that person anymore, they want to come back and be your friend. You right, Miss Glover, new levels, new devils. And I wrote back to her yesterday and I said, first of all, that's not your friend if she can't be your friend when she's friends with somebody else. Now, however, let me say this. Sometimes when you do get certain friends, let me see, how do I want to say this? It's never a time to get a new friend and stop being friends with somebody else. But there are times when you will commune or become friends with a new person and you all have more in common and you bond a little bit more and you start spending more time with that person. Not because you're disowning this person or you don't want to be friends with that person anymore. You're just bonding more with this person. I don't know if she was speaking of relationship wise or whatever. Especially, okay, let me just stick with friendship. So because I have a friend, we bond really, really, really well. We talk about so much. Pastor K, y'all know Pastor K. Pastor K and I, we could pray together. She's on my live sometimes. I call her, seek for counsel sometimes, a whole lot of things. So we bond in a different way than I bond with other friends. But never do she ever tell me, I called you and you didn't call me back. I text you and she texted me today and I earlier today and I called her back tonight. I was like, girl, I didn't see your text, blah, 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 blah. She don't ever have that attitude with saying, I text you, I called you. You have to know who your friends are. Friends and associates are not the same. Exactly. You have to know who your associates are and who your friends are. So, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. I'm going to say again, that's not your friend if she cannot be friends with you when she's friends with somebody else. Am I making sense? If she's only coming back to you being friends with you when she's not friends with that other person, I wouldn't even, number one, hey Val, I wouldn't even give her the time of the day. Here it is. Sometimes we bring, here we go. We're talking about those undesired behaviors. Undesired behaviors again. Watch this. I wouldn't have a friend that wouldn't want to be friends with me just because they have another friend. However, if it is a relationship situation, you have to understand that now I am in a relationship and I'm bonding and I have to bond. So yes, you have to step back and take some time. Yes, I'm not going to be talking to you all day and all night or whatever because I got a new boo. I'm over here with my boo. We're trying to learn each other. So no, I can't. What that look like, I'm in a new relationship and still talking to my friend every day, all day. That's dysfunction. That's dysfunction. Here's another thing. Controlling people. Let me go back to this here. Talking about friendships. Let me just throw this in and be transparent. I don't want to call this person's name, but I had a friend just a few days ago. Friends come and go. That's why I barely have friends. Absolutely, Miranda. Absolutely. I had a friend the other day. See, when you have real friends, you have to be able to accept criticism, constructive criticism, when someone tells you something about yourself, right? So I had a friend the other day said to me, she said, you said something to me and I didn't like your tone and how you said it. She said, and I didn't like what you said. And I was like, okay, repeat back to me. And she repeated it back to me. And I said, that hurt your feelings? And she was like, yeah. She said, because of the way you said it. Because now, watch this. This me. Because I know that is my real friend. Because I know we've been friends for years. I didn't go into I didn't do that. I turned the table on myself. Because sometimes we have to look at our own selves in the mirror. Sometimes we have to look at our own selves in the mirror and say, okay, maybe that person can't take what I can take. See, we were raised differently. I was raised just hardcore from a hardcore mother. When I say hardcore mother, my mama, unless she was whipping our butt, we better not cry. We get fussed at, we better not cry. My mom used to tell us when we was growing up, you better not never let them see you sweat. If you got to cry, you better go in the bathroom or you better go in the corner and cry. You better not never let nobody see you cry. So it's even hard for me to show emotions now because, and I'm going through therapy for that. We're trying to break that through. Because there are times I want to cry, but I just can't cry. It's like I'll feel sad sometimes. Even watching a Lifetime movie, I'll be like, oh, I want to cry, but I can't cry. Now I will cry sometimes, but I'm just saying, we're trying to break those barriers, and those are traumas and things that I grew up with. So let me go back to this. So I told the friend, I said, I apologize. I say, maybe I did talk to you a little bit harsh, but I'm never going to talk to my friend or another adult like they are a child, because I don't want anyone talking to me like that. So therefore, I apologize. I said, I'm not going to apologize for what I said because I meant what I said, but I will apologize for my presentation, my delivery, and I will work on that. See, a real friend will bring things to your attention. However, I have other friends, I can say that same thing too. It won't hurt their feelings, and they'll just laugh about it because they'll be like, oh, that's just Sheree. That's how Sheree talk. Sheree talk hard sometimes. Sheree talk hard sometimes. Does it make it right? Absolutely not. So now that's something that I'm be working on, because maybe people haven't said anything to me because they thought it would hurt my feelings. So I'm going to take the initiative to work on that. Because it's never in my endeavor to go around hurting somebody. I'm 51 years old. What I look like trying to hurt another person's feelings, a grown up. That's not, because I don't want anybody hurting my feelings. So that's just a transparent moment that I'm using, letting you see about functional relationships instead of dysfunctional. I don't deal with anybody that's dysfunctional. Now, it could have been dysfunctional if I would have said, what's up, Steve? It could have been dysfunctional because it could have went a different way. I could have not been able to receive it, And if she'd called me on a different day, I probably would not have been able to receive it. but she called me at a time, and I'm grateful and thankful that my friends know when to catch me and when to talk to me, because if we're real friends, we both should be honest. Yes, absolutely. We both should tell each other when they're right and wrong. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what happened. But like I say, I'm grateful that my friend knew me enough and know me enough. She knew when to talk to me about it. She didn't talk to me about it when it happened, because I really didn't even know that. I really not hurt her feelings. We were just talking, and I was like, what? Yeah. Those of you who know me and who I talk to, Miss Glover's on here. She know several of you all are on here whom I have convey back with quite often. I don't mean any harm. That's just how I talk. But if I ever talk and it comes out in a different way, my real friends would tell me, and that's the first time I've ever had somebody to tell me something like that. But I'm going to work on it, because again, what may hurt somebody else's feelings, because something hurts somebody else's feelings, don't hurt mine, don't mean it's right, and don't mean it's not right. So we have to do something about it. Controlling behaviors are dysfunctional. Controlling behaviors are dysfunctional because when a person has to, let's talk about this. When a person has to, I don't know why my thing. Hey, Instagram, I know I need to look down at y'all sometime too. Y'all still with me over here on YouTube? That's what's up. When a person has to control you all the time, watch these friendships of people that have to control you. That is dysfunctional. That, I'm going to say it again, that is dysfunctional. And I don't know, I tell people all the time, sometimes I think I'm psychic, because I can look at a situation, or I can look at a friendship, and I can tell how they're acting and how they talk to each other. I'd be like in my head, that's so dysfunctional. That is dysfunctional. Who wants to be in a friendship like that? Who wants to be in a friendship where they're controlled all the time? I got controlled as a child. I'm not going to be an adult and you still control me. That we're just not going to do that. We're not going to have that. And most people who like to control people are, again, people with low self-esteem, people who come from traumatic past experiences, and some people who feel the need to be above other people. We're friends. We're supposed to be here. But for some reason, you feel you need to be up here. And that way you feel like you need to control. Rose say, oh, no way. I know, Rose, but you have these friendships out here, and people stay in those dysfunctional, controlling friendships and relationships because they feel like they have to be there. Now, let me tell you how people who like to control. They always blaming other people and blaming you, always creating drama, intimidation, and they ignore boundaries. You tell them not to do something. Oh, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it anyway. Boo. Bro, fam, look, I just asked you not to do X, Y, and Z. And you still telling me you're going to do it. You're ignoring my boundaries. You're ignoring what I just asked you not to do. So when you have people ignoring your boundaries, those are the people you definitely don't need to be around, because that's a train wreck waiting to happen. Yeah. Again, and I know it, what they call it, discernment. I be saying psychic, honey, because I can just zero in on situations, and I don't know why I'm like that, because it's not like I'm nosy. I'm really not nosy. But if a situation come across my path, and if I see it and if I hear it, I'm kind of like, first impression is always last. Attention seekers, yes, absolutely. But if a situation if it crossed my path, and if I hear it 9 times out of 10, I could pick up on it. I used to be in dysfunctional relationships that were controlling, and I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute that a person have to be in control and have to tell you what to do. I thought that stuff was cute. Oh, but you're only going to tell me what to do so many times, though. I'm going to say, okay, sometime, but when it get to the point to where you want to, I said, no, it ain't no I said. My mom is not here anymore, nor is my father. So we're not going to talk to each other like that. We're not. And y'all know those people. Some of y'all on here, some of y'all know people who are just as controlling as they can be, and y'all still stay right there in their good graces. Y'all still stay right there in their face. And you ask a question, you be like, why do you feel like you have to stay in that dysfunctional relationship? They need me. Who did they have before they had you? I can't leave him. I can't leave her. So you're going to sit there and be miserable because you feel this person needs you. You're going to sit there and feel miserable in a relationship because when he's ignoring you, when he's disrespecting you, when he's giving you these undesired dysfunctional behaviors, you're going to stay there because you feel he needs you. How about he get himself together and appreciate you if you're going to stay there? Yeah, how about that? How about that friend? How about that friend get themselves together and start appreciating you? You know, but whenever you ask the question, why do you stay in a dysfunctional friendship or relationship? The answer is always because they need me. I feel I can help them. You can't, from Jason's lyric, you can't help a brother that don't want to be saved or a sister. Yes, your mess became your ministry. Absolutely. So, you know, that needs to stop. And whenever I see people, here's another thing. Whenever I see people that stay and feel the need to have to keep helping these dysfunctional people, I think something is wrong with you. I feel like you have a problem with moving on. And maybe you feel somewhere within your heart or within your mental faculties that you have to be there to help him, or that you have to be there to help her, or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I think that person has a problem with moving on. I think the woman has a problem with moving on to another relationship, or she just don't want to be alone. Or even we have some males who are with females and it's dysfunction. She talked to him any kind of way. Call him crazy. That's why you ain't graduate from school. You ain't got nothing but old GED, nigga. You and that. And he stay there and he take that. Or you in these dysfunctional friendships. I'm not, and I repeat, I'm not. I can't do it. Maybe some can, and there's a stopping point in all of our lives to where we take so much and we have to stop. I have taken all I can take. All I can take as far as people trying. Yeah, they're stuck. You're right, Rosemary White. They're stuck and don't know how to become unstuck. They're glued right there. Honey, they better pour some of that unstick liquid and wiggle their way out of there. I don't know how to go back and be in a dysfunctional situation, relationship or friendship. Because see, once you come out of it, it feels good. Once you come out of it, yeah, you'll look back and you'll say, wow, why did I stay in that? Because I question myself sometimes. I'm like, why did I stay in that? Why? Why? And then stuck in trauma. Yes, Valerie, you're right. And here's the thing. When you know people who are stuck in trauma, you can't help them. You can give them advice. You cannot help them. Valerie and I talks about this quite often. People who are grown, who's stuck in trauma, who's stuck in from, and she's on here now. They're stuck from childhood. They're stuck from age 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They're stuck right there. So even though they're grown, you're looking at the outer appearance. You're looking at the inside, internal, is still stuck right there. They don't know how to move on. So mentally, they're still going to stay there and take that abuse. Mentally, they're still going to stay there and allow people to talk to them any kind of way because they just don't know how. They're afraid. That's all they've been know. That's all they know. That's why I say therapy. Therapy will help any and everybody if you really want to be helped. If you want to be helped, you have to want to be helped. And this is the thing that I'm going to say this. And I don't want y'all taking no certain way because I got some ministers on here I see. Got a couple of pastors on here, but I'm going to say this. Fear for loneliness. That's right, Miss Glover. Stop going to your local churches or to your local pastors who you know are dysfunctional or who you know ain't practicing what they preach or who you know who have more trauma and problems than you do trying to seek advice. I'm going to say that again. Kim Burrell could say it better than me. I like the way she said it. Stop going to your local churches, your local pastors. Now I'm not, let's be clear. I'm not saying don't go and talk to your pastors. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying when you need some real help, when you need some real counseling, when you need some real therapy, and you already know that these jokers doing in and everything up under the sun, but you still going to them anyway, and you know they just as dysfunctional. They are dysfunctional as you are. But you still going to them. That's my pastor. I got to go to my pastor, child. But Child, please. Your pastor need to be going with you over to a therapist to get some help. I'm going to say it again. Y'all all need to be going together as a pack. And I don't want anybody to take that in a bad way, because I know some people live strictly by the Bible and scriptures, and they don't know how to deviate from, I'm not saying leave it, they don't know how to detour sometime and drive on up in that office and talk to somebody else. Talk to the man and fill out their little form, and he asks you questions, and he can figure out what's wrong with you, predicated on what you check, predicated on what you write down. He can tell whether you're depressed. He can tell whether you're bipolar. He can tell whether you're ADHD. He can tell whether you're ADD. He can tell whether you are post PTSD. He can tell whether they can tell everything predicated on Valerie's gonna get some meds. Yeah, predicated on what you write down. I see so many depressed ministers, so many depressed pastors, so many depressed laymen, clergy, just as depressed as they want to be. They depressed today, tonight. They want to preach to you, and they back depressed. And I know this one person. I'm not gonna say his name. He doesn't live here in Houston, and he comes on like about 6 a.m, maybe twice a week. Man got a good word, but house. When I say house, because I know him personally, house is just as jacked up. When I say jacked up, jacked up. See, them kind of people can't say nothing to me. Now, I know the Bible say, fail not to assemble yourselves. No, that's from going to church. Let the wheat and the tare grow together and let God do the separating. I know that. But you can't tell me nothing. Now, when I know what you're doing, not your past, currently what you're doing. Because I didn't have to tell you, nigga, don't send me no dick pics in my inbox no more. Girl, I'm just playing. No, you're not playing. You're not playing, because the next time you send it, I'm sending it to your wife. It's little anyway. But anyway, that was a little humor. But Ladera said, I go and the pastor and majored in psychology if very much needed. Enemy will try us hard. Yeah, he will. He will. He's going to try you. The devil is going to try you. But Ladera, here's the thing. We blame everything on the devil. Some stuff we just willingly do. And that's one thing I wish church folks stop blaming every god doggone thing of the day. We praise him too much. We give him too much glory. Some of this stuff we're doing on our own. And yeah, the devil may make you do it, but you want to do it. Because if you didn't want to do it, if you wanted to move past that, you could do it. Here's one. If the enemy is going to make you do everything, why not try God? Why not say, okay, let me come on over here on God's side and try God. Let God make me do some stuff sometime. We give the enemy too much credit. Too much credit. But anyway, guys, that's my time. If I haven't said anything on here that will stick within your 2 ears, remember this. Yes, that's right. The devil uses people. Yeah. I like to say going through for righteousness. Stop allowing dysfunctional people to operate in your space. And when I say stop allowing them, stop letting them come in. Stop letting them come in. The devil does not have that kind of power. Absolutely. Life and death lies in the power of our own tongue. We could speak life. We could speak death. We could speak it. We could tell the devil, get thee behind me, and mean it. He gonna try it anyway. He gonna try it, but sometimes I've and this is just me. I've stopped blaming everything on the devil, because now the Bible does say you reap what you sow. So we do know, even though when we get saved, we still got to reap. So don't be hollering about this to the devil. Now you reaping some of those things, some of those bad seeds that you sowed. God may be a little bit lenient and not let the reaping be as hard, because now you have crossed over and you have gotten your life together and stuff like that, and you are serving God, but you still have to reap what you sow. Y'all hear me over there, Instagram? You still have to reap what you sow. So I love each and every one of you all. I love you. I like you, and I like you. YouTube, I love you. I like you, and I like you. Instagram, I love you. I like you, and I like you. Again, y'all can catch me over on all social medias. YouTube, after you close this out, please go down and hit the subscribe button so you can hit that notification button. So every time I come on, you can hear me on YouTube. Instagram, y'all do the same thing. Hit that notification button so you can hear me every time I come on. Facebook, you all already know what to do. I love you all. There's nothing you can absolutely do about it. Have a great night. Bye-bye.